Hey, everybody, and welcome back to What's Next Gen X. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Anne Marie, and what's next Gen X is for Gen X and by Gen X. And today you've got the two of us.
Yes, and let me tell you, we are on fire. So it is
Fire,
going to be
fire.
a fun episode. Look, let's just kick it off because okay. So I do have to share this about me and Anne Marie. We always make the mistake. We get to talking and we do a whole episode, and then we're like, okay, you ready to record? And I'm like,
Yeah.
we should have recorded. We were just talking because I'm telling you, one day we're gonna do that. One day I'm just gonna put on record and we're
Oh
just
my
gonna
God.
talk, and you guys are
I'm
gonna
just
be
gonna
like, oh
go.
my God, this is so good. Yeah, because that's what we do. We always have these really good conversations. So this is an extension of that. We're talking about the fact that, come on, Gen X, you know it, I know it. Your guidance counselor lied to you. And
Lied.
it lied big time. And I know people are like, wait, what do you mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
that person that we actually had to go to in high school to talk about what we wanted to do, what our future was going to look like. And the guidance counselor basically took one look at you and was like, oh, teacher, nurse, police officer. I don't know who gave them the authority to assign these things, but nobody really asked us. They kind of were like, they let you talk for, 5 or 6 seconds, and then they go, you know what, Anne Marie?
Yep.
You'd be a great nurse, not a doctor, mind you, but you'd be a great nurse. And again, nothing wrong with nursing, but who are these people who are telling us what we
Who
should
put us into
be?
buckets.
Thank
Like
you.
they literally did.
They would just
Yep.
kind of, and then let's just keep it real, depending on where you grew up, or even what color you were, they literally were like, oh, you're going to be a teacher.
Right.
I don't want to be a teacher. And I
Right.
remember actually having these
Or what gender,
conversations.
right? That's the
Thank
other one
you.
too.
Oh yeah, or
Yeah.
your gender. They broke it down. That's
They broke it down.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to do that. They were like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, well, I like to talk. I like sports. I think I want to get to sports broadcasting. And my guidance counselor said, oh, that's going to be really difficult for you. Okay. I thought you were here to guide.
Right.
So yeah, so let's break this down as far as the lie and what we need to do about
And
it.
I'm going to add on to it because it wasn't just the guidance counselor, right?
Yeah.
Because the guidance counselor sort of started this conversation. And then you went to college and then you went to the career center, right?
Uh,
So, like,
Career
I was
center.
an economics major. So it's like, okay, well, do you want to choose banking or finance? Like, one, like, that was it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then let's say you got out and you're like, okay, now you go to grad school. Well, then they had even more incentive to place you. Okay, well, do you want to go into consulting or I don't know, financial services?
Yeah.
And it was like you only had these large paths because their metrics were about what they needed to succeed, and it wasn't about you.
Yeah. Because nobody ever asks us the questions. And
No.
and then let's take this a step further. How about the people who walked into their guidance counselor's office, Anne Marie, and didn't even want to go to college?
Oh, like
What
they
about
didn't want
those who
them.
are like, and
You
he
know
said,
what?
what do you mean you don't want to go to college?
Like if you can't see, if you're just listening right now, I am literally like moving in my chair, like because their guidance counselor and that school system needed the 98% like college rate, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like that's it. Like I went to a Catholic girls' school. Like you had to have that. Like that was the whole reason that you paid tuition, right?
Yeah.
Like was to get that 98% college rate. Like there
And
was always the 2%. They could always like write that off
right.
somehow.
And they also didn't really tell us about the college experience because I'll be honest with you. My valedictorian, the year I graduated, he had a nervous breakdown when he went to college,
Oh,
because they didn't even explain that piece. They didn't explain as far as you could be a total A student in high school and go to college and be a C student, because they didn't prepare us. They were just like,
yeah.
oh, you got good grades, you're going to college. But they don't tell us that there's also other kids from other schools who are going to that college who also got good grades. They didn't tell us that these professors
Yeah.
also gave a rat's ass about us, because at the end of the day, again, like you said, it's all about stats and how can we pad
Yep.
them? How can we just put you through? So emotionally and mentally, we just weren't ready as Gen X, a lot of us, because we knew we were going to college, but they kind of told us, well, it's going to get you ready for your career. But what exactly does that mean?
Right. And it was very finite looking, right? And I think, the whole intention of our conversation is like you look back and you're like, okay, your guidance counselor said to do this, right?
Mhm.
Your career counselor at university said to do this. And then your, career office or whatever they called it in
Right.
grad school, right? It was something else. It was something more prestigious because it had to be.
Yeah.
And, like they called it something else, right? And it was them trying to push you into these rules, right? And the
Mhm.
rules about the structure. And the great thing that we've noticed in all of our conversation with Gen Xers is that there's like we like structure. We like structures and frameworks and things because that's what
Mhm.
we've been trained to doing for the last 30 some years of our life,
Yeah.
right? Like ever since that guidance counselor said, you're going to go here and you're going to spend the next 4 years at a university and you're going to study and you're going to choose a major and this is what you're going to do, successful or not, or whether you
Yeah.
like it or not, right? It was
Yeah.
never, or whether it was the right thing long term or whether it was the right thing from a economic viability, right? Like any of those things, it was they were never taken into account because we were always there to support someone else's metric.
Right. And it's so important that you said that because, again, I think it goes into our parents who were boomers. They were
Yeah,
big on planning, 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 planning. But they
yeah,
planned, but they also did, but they didn't ask the questions.
right.
I've told people I knew in the womb I was going to college just
Yeah,
because my parents said that's what you do. And I do appreciate it, the fact that, an education will set you free. Again, please know with this conversation, we're not anti-education, we're not even anti-college. What we're
no,
saying is how we grew up, they just didn't ask enough questions. It was just, this is what you're going to do.
correct.
And honestly, too, let's just break it down. As a woman, I had friends, if it wasn't college, well, then you get married. It was
Right.
like that was it. It wasn't even like, oh, could you be a single woman and not go to college and not get married and just find something else to do? It's like, okay, that's cute. You're either going to get your BS or BA or your MRS. That's what it
This
was.
is- So my brother went to I'll just say it, he went to Notre Dame and next
Hmm.
door there was this the traditional female college, right? Which is
Right.
again like there used to be the women only college. And they like the joke was that was where they went to get their MRS. Like
Hmm.
literally, like if you didn't get into the like there was still only a small percentage of women at the main college, but you went to the next door college. Now all that's gone away now, all that good stuff. But
Yeah.
still it's one of those where like absolutely. And I think, as Nicole and I were talking about this sort of pre-recording, the intention is like we're so used to these structures,
Yeah.
like that now when these structures break down, like your freaking guidance counselor lied to you is the topic of this because like all of a sudden you get a layoff, you get a riff, or you get just sort of like stuck in a rut at work and you're like, what I'm in my 50s, am I gonna do this for the next 10 years? Like
Yeah.
this is it? Like this is the plan? Like, are you kidding me? And there are blessings from working. Like, listen, we all, hashtag blessed, 401k, like all sorts of amazing things. Friends, right? Like true friends. Like all of that stuff is still there. But there's a point where it's like, now, what do I do?
Yeah.
Right? Like, and now we're looking around because every major pivotal moment in our life, we had a guidance counselor. And now we're like, who do I go to?
Right. Right. And
Where do I go?
and and let's be honest, if we had the guidance counselor today, I think they would still be trying to put you, like you were saying, Emery, in a bucket or in a box.
Correct.
And that's not what you need or want. You
No.
need to just kind of sit back and ask the question, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? And even pretend like you're 18 asking that question. Because what did you want at 18 compared to what you
Yeah.
want now? I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not saying you're going to go back. Some people it might have been, whatever, but you have to ask yourself the questions. And I almost feel like Gen X, like we kind of punish ourselves, like, well, I couldn't do that back then, so I'll just kind of do whatever. No, 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 no,
Right.
no. Don't do whatever. Do what you want. You're actually in a better position today to do what you
Correct.
want. Do you know there's Gen Xers who've given up huge, high paying jobs to bake cakes? And they're
Yes.
successful at it because that's what they want to do. We had a
Correct.
guest, Jeff. You know what? I want to do coffee. I want to sell it. I want to
Right.
I want to open stores. Chris Satardo. I want to help people. I want to be a handyman.
Yes.
If this is the stuff that you're passionate about, this is actually the time to do it. And if you use the excuse, I'm too old, or I don't have the money, or it's too late, you are cheating yourself out of not only a wonderful experience, but of the life you've always deserved.
Correct. Yep. And it's about creating that life that you want now, right?
Yeah.
And it's something where, yeah, Nicole, you and I are so passionate about doing this. Like, if you have a day job right now, absolutely keep it. Don't quit it.
Yep.
We're not saying, as you said, this is not time to grab your fish and write the
No, I'm not.
manifesto and
Yeah,
stand there with
don't
Jerry
do your
Maguire.
manifesto and tell them like, give me
No,
the fish. That's we do not want you to do
no.
that. Don't
But
go.
always take the fish.
Yeah, don't go from A to Z, but go to A to G or A to M.
Correct.
Just go somewhere.
Yeah, like start. And so like I have this phrase, and this is sort of like what if you put 3 hours of effort in a week.
Hmm.
And I say 3 hours because I'm like, okay, if I Netflix binge something, right? Like I'm probably gonna be sitting there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
What could I do? Like, what could I do in 3 hours spread across the week,
Yeah. While
right?
you're on Instagram sending your friend memes, what else could
Mm.
you be doing? Because Lord knows I start out with one and then, 45 minutes later, I'm like, what the hell?
And Nicole sent me 12 texts. I know.
What just
which I
happened?
which I love and appreciate, right? But it's like, what could you do? And this is sort of,
Yeah.
when we start to think about it, like it really comes down to discovering who you are, like discovering who you are. And then I like to say, like, radiate, like start talking about it,
Yeah.
start talking about it, find out, and then iterate. It doesn't have to be perfect at the get-go. Like we've been trained by corporate in this corporate world to be perfect in everything that we do,
Yeah.
but like you don't have to be perfect. I just got off with a woman and she's been doing coaching and a bunch of other things since she left corporate. And now she's like, I think I'm going to do this and iterate. I'm like, perfect. That's
Hmm.
exactly what you should do. Like you have to give yourself that grace and space to iterate, to make
Yeah.
sure to like radiate and iterate. Like
And
the two go together.
And please, just for once in your Gen X life, blow up the effing rules. You do not
Yes.
have to have a perfect rule book. You do not have to have do this, do that, do that. I know we've been conditioned to be rule followers. Our parents got on us, follow the rules, follow the plan. The guidance counselor, follow the rules, follow the plan. In college, follow the rules, follow the plan. You do not, there is no rule to what you want to do now. So if you're like, you know what? I like to I like to crochet. Crochet your ass off. Just do something.
Yep.
Put it up. Do you know I know somebody? I'm not gonna speak her name because she listens, but she's into charcuterie boards. I want to make sure I'm
Oh
saying
my gosh, that's an
Lord knows
amazing
don't ask me to
business.
spell it. But she does amazing work, Anne Marie. I'm talking about she can put together a board that I'm like, girl, you need to be selling
People
stuff
pay
on.
money for
I'm like,
that.
you need to be selling stuff on Instagram.
If
She's like,
whoever
no,
she is listening, you need
I
to do this.
I just do this for fun and I don't know how it would go. I mean, would people really buy it? Are you insane? Yes, people
There
would
was
really
one of
buy
those
it.
things on Shark Tank, and they're making millions.
Half the stuff on Instagram should not even be on Instagram. Yes, they're
No.
going to buy this. I mean, and she actually has help. Her son and her daughter-in-law
Oh my
help
gosh.
her on the side. And I am like, oh my God, you don't
Girl, I
want
can't fold a piece of
to
pepperoni to save my life. So like this is the kind of thing where it's like people don't realize, right? So this is awesome. She's discovered what she does really well,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
now she needs to
And she does
radiate
it
and
without even thinking. Girl, let me try to put
yes.
together some meat and cheese on a board. It will look like literally a toddler put it together.
Nicole, you've been to my house. It's literally like a bucket of cacana and some Ritz crackers,
I
right?
mean, she treats it like it's beautiful art. And I'm not even into those boards. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And she's like,
So
you think?
stunning.
I'm like, yeah, I think. I
Yeah.
think we need to do this. I said, just do kind of like your own like pop-up. Like just put it out there for like family and friends for a couple holidays and see what happens. And if you
Yes.
sell, I don't know, 5 or 50 because they're so gorgeous, then you can come back to me later and say, I owe you a big fat apology. Because that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. And then when she talks about it, she gets excited.
And this is amazing. And you and I have seen this light go on in
Yes.
so many Gen Xers, right? Where oftentimes this is way more than a 12-minute episode, but oftentimes they come to us and they're almost you can see physically we get on the Zoom with them, like they're almost hunched over, sort
Yeah.
of like, I don't know.
They
And then
look like that kid in the guidance counselor office.
yes, well,
Yeah.
they got in trouble. Yes.
Yeah.
And then they open up and talk about what they want to do, right? And it's just you see this, and as confident as they are, and I'm going to say this because we had somebody that came from this world, as confident as they are in, let's say, I don't know, compliance and accounting, right? Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like they could be the world's leader in understanding compliance legalities, right? Now you start talking to them about charcuterie boards, and they're like, I don't know if I can do this. Like they become like this scared kid, and the guidance counselor that's not
You
sure if they can go to
you
college.
just hired 100 people in like 30 days and you don't know how to put
Correct.
together the
Right.
board of beat and cheese.
Yeah.
Like, girl,
Yeah.
bye. Come
Yeah.
on.
You just saved $1 billion fine from the SEC because you made sure your company was compliant. Oh, hold on, right? Like this is meat and cheese, people. Like you can do this.
Right.
But and
Right.
a part of it is that idea of radiating and
Yes.
like because we see this and literally people like it looks like you just had microdermabrasion. Like they just
Yeah.
light up. They
it's it's
light
it's like
up.
the geek factor with us. We get
Yes.
excited for helping other people.
Oh,
And I mean, I know I was born to be a servant leader because it's easy. I get
yeah.
excited. Now me trying to help myself, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother show. but me helping other people, I can do that in my sleep. You come with
Yes.
half an idea, not even a name, and you're not sure, girl, please, I'm gonna light it up.
Like,
That gets me excited. So that's what
like,
we're asking for you. What gets you excited? What gets you snapping? What
yes.
gets you, like Emery was saying, radiated? What gets you to where you're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I could do this in my sleep? That's all we're asking.
That's all we're asking, right? Like, that's it. So, and I think the truth is now you are your own guidance counselor.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
I just
Yes.
made that up.
Yes.
Like literally, like you are your own guidance
Yes.
counselor,
Yep.
right? And it's
Talk to
something
yourself in
where
the mirror. Talk about it with a friend. Write it down in a journal. Start asking those questions
come
that
into
you
the
wish.
GenX collective, talk to
Yeah.
us,
Start asking
right?
those questions that
Like,
you wish Mr. Johnson would have asked you.
girl, we won't go there.
But with that, we would also love to hear from you. If you have listened to this episode, and you're like it's lit a fire under you, let us know. Reach out to us on LinkedIn. Reach out to us on Instagram and even X. We want to know what conversations are you having. What new conversations are you having with
Correct.
yourself?
And DM us, right?
Yes.
Because we understand that your work environment, you might not want to like or comment on any of our posts. Just DM us. You can do that
Yes.
privately. Like, no one at work will
Yeah,
know,
and we might
right? It
even
doesn't
have
have to
you
go
on the
public.
show. We might even want to hear, hey, look, Anne Marie,
Yeah.
Nicole, I had this conversation. This is what I'm doing because we want your testimony to be part of our story. We always want to share those stories with
Yeah.
the audience. So please let us know.
I love it.
All right. Well, hey, this has been a dose of what's
Dose of
next Gen
reality.
X, a dose of reality. But again, you see how passionate we are. We're here for you. Reach out to us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and X. You can also follow Anne Marie and I on LinkedIn. But we'll see you next time, folks.
Bye.